Okay, so this is Miss N, obviously. If you are watching this, you've been able to access Google Classroom. Thank good on you. I'm glad you've been able to accomplish that. We're going to be moving on at this point using videos like this in order to record information for you. Now, at this point, you should have been able to access fortworthisd.org, change your password, all of that stuff. Now, making that assumption, your dashboard should end up looking like this. What I need you to do is go ahead and click your little button down here. It's going to look kind of like a little backpack. Now mine obviously is going to look very different from yours. Mine is the teacher version, so it's full of all sorts of different things, but the basics should be about the same. Now, when you click it, it's going to open a new tab, and it's going to have all your class periods listed. Now, if you'll notice, mine are all out of order, but this is a work in progress. Now, you'll notice there's a few, each tab, each little icon, each little section is set up according to each class period that you have. Now, if you go specifically to your class period, it's going to have these 4 little apps. I went ahead and set those up for you. It should have already populated onto your dashboard. Now, if you click there, I'm just going with first period because it's the first one on the list. Now, if you click there, you see that there's 4 apps. Now, I can go ahead and add a new application. I'm not sure what's available for you on your screen. However, you'll notice that Google Classroom is on the list. When you click on Google Classroom, it's going to take you to your Google Classes. Now, each class period has their own specific things that they're using. Now, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. I'm going to go to first period again just so that it matches. And notice that right now I have not added anything for a while. These are going to be changing, and I'm going to be putting a class link right at the top right here. It's going to be popping in. This is the class link where we're going to be having our live chats. The live chats are going to be available every day between 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. That means that you can go in and access that. I will be making another video for that. So you can go ahead and see how that works, but we're not going to be doing that right now. What I want you to be doing right now is I want you to go back to your backpack in here, in this application. I want you to go ahead and I want you to click on this GIMP link. What's going to happen is going to take you to this website. This is going to allow you to download the program. If you have any difficulties, please make sure that you email me so that hopefully this one will work. Unfortunately, I'm not certain because of the fact that you have Chromebooks and I do not. So I'm not 100% certain this is going to work on your Chromebook. If it is not, I will come up with an alternative photo editing program, and we're going to be doing that. Now, as I just said, this is a photo editing program. Now, some of you might be a little bit more familiar with it in terms of using the ones like on tablets or something like that. However, you may also not be familiar with how it might work otherwise. So we're going to be talking about what each little thing that you can do, and you might learn a few new tips and tricks, even if you're a little bit more advanced with the technology. So you're going to want to click download, and it's going to give you the option to download it in different ways. Now, I have Windows, so that's what I'm going to use. But you want to make sure that you're using the one that's appropriate for your computer. Now, Windows should still work even with your Chromebook, but it might not. So make sure you're testing it, go through the process, and if it doesn't work, please let me know via email. Now, I'm going to go ahead and download this directly. I'm going to open the file, and it's going to start setting up the photo editing program. Now, it's going to take a few minutes to go ahead and upload. So give it a minute, and I will be right back. Okay, as you can see, it's already been downloaded. What I did want to go ahead and mention is that if you're having any trouble with getting it set up on your Google Chromebook, please make sure that you follow the link that's going to be attached right onto this file on Google Classroom. You follow the link and it's going to walk you through the installation. Now, the file that you want specifically, because it's Chromebook, as it says right here, is that you're going to want to use the Linux file. So if you go back to the original website, there's a little button right here that says GNU Linux. Now, going back to the information, it does say that Linux is for Chromebooks. So you're going to want to make sure to follow that installation guide, not necessarily this one. Now, this one will still work if you are using a computer that is not your school-given Chromebook. Again, that is for a Windows computer, following this specific installation that you can see in front of you. You're going to want to follow the Chromebook installation guide as you see right here. Now, what it states specifically is that you're going to want to click that button and start the download. Once you have downloaded it, it's going to bring up the driver so you can go ahead and go to setup. It's a free program and it shouldn't cause you any major difficulties. It will open and save different types of files and everything as needed. Now, once it is done, so right here, once you have here, you can only access the files that are in that section. That's just, unfortunately, that's just the way that not Google Classroom, your Chromebooks work. So please make sure you're keeping that in mind. I highly recommend using a thumb drive or something like that, or even the cloud to save your information separately. I repeat, save your information separately. So once you have confirmed and you have saved the application, it should open up as a Chrome OS app. Now, again, all the information is right here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure to set this up, this link right here that's up on the bar. I'm going to go ahead and put that underneath on Google Classroom. Now, if you can't find it on Google Classroom, just go ahead and type this link into the browser, which is up here, this browser. You're going to type that in, and it's going to take you to this website with more information. Now, getting onto the installation, I'm going to go ahead and install. And while that is installing, I want to go ahead and cover a little bit of the information. Now, what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be covering how to do each different thing in Chromebook, or not in Chromebook, in the GIMP program. I'm going to be covering what to do in order to take an actual physical drawing from a piece of paper and how to get that into your artwork, and how you can take that and do digital coloring as well as photo editing. We'll be working with all of that as soon as we can, but I want to make sure that you have enough time to get this set up and troubleshoot before we get into this any further. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let this finish installing, and then I will be right back so I can show you what the and program look like. Okay, once it has finished uploading, or downloading, you need to make sure you click the little finish button on the square that's going to be on the download square that's going to be on your screen. Then you're going to go to the bottom left-hand corner, which should be very similar on your computers, on your Chromebooks, and you're going to go ahead and type the words GIMP, and you're going to see the little icon pop up. You want to make sure to open it. It's going to take a couple minutes to go ahead to open the first time through. Don't rush it. Don't try to skip or anything, because every time you close the program, it's going to start it over. Make sure you only click it the once, or it's going to open 3 or 4 times. Now, if you notice on your screen, there's a lot of little things that are popping up right here. These are all of the filters and programs that are included in this overall image manipulation program. Now, it's called a GIMP because that stands for the GNU Image Manipulation Program. This is a 2.110 version, which means that it's designed to make it a little bit easier and a little bit more streamlined than the older versions. So make sure that you're getting the updated version of your program. Now, it's going to sometimes have different pictures right here. Mine, as you can see, has little mushrooms and this little bar that goes across the bottom as it's downloading. Turning on. Now, this is all going to be a little bit new for all of us in terms of this, but you should be relatively familiar with the Google Classroom format, so I'm not going to really go through that. Now, when you first open the program, this is what it looks like. I'm going to leave this small for just right now, just until we can get this part going. That way you can see how it works without my little picture down here in this corner getting in the way. Now, you're going to see that you have the file, edit, select, view, image, layer, colors, tools, filters, windows, and help. Now, you may or may not have these sections on the side. What these are called, these sections are called dockable windows. So if I wanted to go to switch it out as a professional, I could go ahead and select one that I wanted to move. So for example, I'm going to click crop. I'm going to move it, and I can get it out of here and remove this tab per se. So for example, I click Windows. So if I want to go and get a dock, you're going to go ahead and go to dockable dialogues. Now, I highly recommend getting this one. This one is layers. Remember when we talked about layers in class in terms of cutting paper and other projects? When you want to make an image, you want to be able to layer pieces on top of each other. Images and layers are going to be incredibly important. So the first thing you want to do, you want to come up here, you're going to want to click layers, and you're going to see that it appears right here. Now, if I wanted to get rid of it, I could pull it out and move it right here. But you want layers. You would click the tab, put it back into place. I highly recommend placing it on the document tab right off to the side right here. Now, the issue with moving it is that it's very difficult to get back into place. So one of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that it is placed back in the spot that you had it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close it. I'm going to open the Windows dockable dialog. So if you accidentally got rid of one, you can go ahead and add it again. Now, notice it added it way up top. We can work with this. Now, the next thing you're going to want to add, and you want to go to the dockable dialog, and you want to add navigation. This allows you to zoom into your programs. So I'm going to move this, I'm going to try moving this downwards. And it may cause you a little bit of difficulty, just like you can see that it's having right now. Now, it's just a matter of trying to adjust how you add your tabs. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one right here and click channels, or not channels. I'm going to click add tab, I'm going to click layers, and it should appear there. So there we go. Click the little arrow, click again, I'm going to show you again, click the little arrow, click add tab, and you can add any one of these aspects to your screen right here, your full window. Now, obviously, there's a lot going on here. What we're going to be focusing on right now is on the right-hand side. I highly recommend having the navigation window up top and channels on the bottom, or not channels, layers on the bottom. Ignore the rest of them for right now. You don't want to overcomplicate things. So the next thing you're going to go to either new or upload. Now, the next thing after you do that is to go ahead and decide whether or not you're going to do new. We're going to go ahead and go with new just to get this started so you can see how it looks like. And I'm going to go over this again in another window. You're going to go ahead and click US letter, not legal letter, because that is 8.5 by 11, which is a standard sheet of paper. You're going to open it, and it's going to look like this. We will go back over this again in another video. Just make sure you can get to this spot, and we'll go over a few more specifics on the next video. Hopefully, you get to this point pretty easily. If you have any difficulties, make sure to email me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I love you all. Please make sure you're staying safe and staying inside and staying clean. We want to make sure you're staying as far away from people as you can, and make sure, again, to stay safe.